God and religiosity more broadly, it's something people build their entire lives and worldviews around, and, in this video I'm gonna, disprove it and stuff. I'm pretty straight to the point, I'm bad at intros, so I'm just gonna say my arguments. So, there's an argument that you often get when you say, oh, God doesn't exist, and people say, oh, why doesn't he exist? And to be honest, I used to believe this a couple of years ago, back in 2019. I was thinking about, it, and I was like, wait a minute, there's no way to know God doesn't exist, so I became an agnostic in a rare bout of logic for 12-year-old me. Uh, I'm more logical now, and as it turns out, there's a bit of a horseshoe theory thing where it's like no logic, no God, more logic, no God, a little logic, God. Oh, but yeah, there's a lot of atheists who will dogmatically say that, oh, God, that's stupid, and I agree, that take is stupid. And to deconstruct it, I'm going to first show you this one philosophical concept of mine. Basically, everything must exist for no reason, okay? Because before anything existed, there was nothing to cause anything to exist. Therefore, at some level, at least something must exist for no reason. That's probably a more accurate way to say it, is there's at least one thing in existence that exists for no reason. You could say in the universe, you could say in all of existence, I don't care. Maybe everything just came into existence for no reason. Maybe God exists for no reason and then created everything. It doesn't matter, but at least one thing in all of existence exists for just no reason whatsoever. And a religious person would presumably see this point and be like, well, that's evidence that God exists or whatever, because it's like, see, there's no reason for this all to exist. Maybe God created it. But here's the thing, I'd like to introduce you to a concept called Occam's razor. Occam's razor is a very, very useful tool in philosophy. Many would say it's very easy to cut yourself with it, but that's just mainly a matter of not knowing how to use it. Once you understand it and understand how to use it, it actually becomes very hard to cut yourself with it. So, I'm assuming everyone who's watching this wants to call themselves rational, okay? So basically, to be rational is to believe things for a reason, right? That's to be rational. To be logical is to believe things for a reason pertaining to, oh, that's what physical reality is like, right? Although, considering that I'm arguing against the idea that a metaphysical reality exists, I probably ought to state that what I mean by physical, when I say physical, I should really just say, real, objective. Yeah, I conflate physical with the objective reality, but I'm arguing against folks who don't, so really that'd probably be a more accurate term to use in this context, is just objective reality. But of course, we don't always have a reason to believe anything in particular, like, for instance, an agnostic would be like, we don't have any reason to believe God does or doesn't exist. But here's where Occam's razor comes in, okay? Well, look, if we want to come to a firm conclusion on something where we have no reasons, which sometimes we have to when we're talking about practical applications of logic, we have to jump to conclusions, right? Occam's razor states that it's most rational to jump to as few conclusions as possible. So when we have no reason to believe any particular thing, we should believe whatever requires us to jump to the fewest conclusions. Or better phrased, most assumptions. Anytime when I said fewest conclusions, it's probably better just to put most assumptions. And applying this to the God question, well, it's simpler to assume that the universe exists for no reason, either having come into existence for no reason, or just having always existed for no reason, than it is to assume that God exists in that and then created the universe, as that's 2 steps as opposed to 1 step. And this is the part where I tacitly acknowledge that, yeah, this video's title was clickbait. You can't really disprove anything in philosophy, so to speak, but I came about as close as you can to. Yeah, if you're gonna say, oh, you can't disprove God exists, would you apply that to Allah, the Islamic God, or to Thor, one of the Viking gods, or to the flying spaghetti monster, or to the bad CGI poo-poo man? Would you apply that to any of them? Because if you wouldn't, then why are you applying it to the Christian God? And also, how many of them would you apply it to as well? Where are you drawing the line, so to speak? But anyway, that's the whole thing. So yeah, comment your thoughts down below. This is an actual like philosophical discussion. What do you think on this subject, especially now that you've seen what I have to say on it? Pretty profound stuff I've had to say, I'd say. But yeah, also please hit the like button. It costs you nothing, and unless you hate seeing little animation, it does now, and it promotes my videos in the algorithm, means more people see it. Like maybe I'll even build up this channel up to the point where like it's seriously people are seeing it, which like a lot of people, that'd be cool. Even if it's just like a 300 sub channel, that'd be like cool as hell. I'd really like that and cost you nothing. It's like paying me an exposure. You don't have to give up anything, and I get stuff for what I've made for you. Like, please, like every video from a creator you watch. Uh, also subscribe if you want to see YouTube to show you more content, and hit the bell if you want to be notified. Yeah. Look, I just found this tiny bit of rotten peanut butter hiding behind a crevice where in my little studio, and looking at it, it is gross as fuck. How long has this been there? Or is this Nutella? Yeah, it's Nutella. Okay, it's not as gross as I thought. But a nice surprise. Bye.